And while we're getting ready here, as we're taxiing out, give us a couple of words to introduce yourself and give us a couple of words of background about yourself.
All right, I'm Chris Bradshaw. I'm one of the factory sales representatives for the World Aircraft Company out of Paris, Tennessee. We're here in our Vision Sport, which is manufactured completely in Paris, Tennessee. Our primary owners are Eric Giles and Max Tedesco. All right, excellent, Chris. So Chris has got a little bit of flying time under his belt, and he's going to do the primary duties here, and I'm going to learn a little bit about the Vision Sport. Yeah, really, a lot of visibility in this airplane. It has, yeah, we call it glass. It's plexiglass, of course, but it's all over the place. It's all over the place. The thing you may have noticed first is how easy it is to get in here. Your feet and your rudder pedals, those doors are almost even, makes it really easy to get in and out of this airplane. We think it's one of the easiest ones in the entire LSA collection. Certainly was easy, and it's got quite a bit of clearance in here as well. I didn't bump my head getting in through the door or in the overhead. And of course, we're wide open overhead in the skylight. Yeah, I'm 6'1" and pretty tall from the middle up, and I've got, as you can see, plenty of headroom here. Yep. Headset's nowhere near getting in the way of anything. Yeah, that's even with a little bit of structure right over your head. I'd say you got 3 inches clearance at your height even, so that's a good thing. Looking in the back of the airplane here, you can see lots of glass back there as well. You can see aft. I can see the whole tailplane. But looking out the front of the aircraft here, sides, the doors are wide open. They're all glass doors all the way down. And you pretty much have as good a visibility as any LSA that I've seen, actually. There we go. You ready, Dan? All set. Let's go fly. All right, let's go fly. How much time have you got flying in the World Aircraft models, Chris? I've got about 10 hours in the various World Aircraft models. I've got 13,000+ hours overall. Okay, so how do you like this compared to the other 12,990 hours? Well, a lot of them are a little bit heavier airplanes, but as far as these airplanes go, the point I make is that this thing is considerably more stable, in my experience, than some of the other light sport airplanes. The controls are tuned to fly with just a little bit heavier, tighter feel than some of the other airplanes. Again, that's a company choice, and everybody likes something different, but I really like the feel of this. It feels significant is the best way that I would put it. You ready? Okay, I'll take control of the airplane. You have the airplane. I have the airplane. And we're running pretty near full power. Pretty near full power. And let's see. You can begin to ease that back a little bit. Yep. We're getting a little bit. Yeah, come on back to a little shy of about 51 or so. Yeah, that'd be a good idea. You can keep. And is there a friction lock, or is it just moving position? Set up with its own friction. There's no friction lock on this airplane. Okay. Tended to be a nice, smooth throttle action, but it'll still stay in position. Comfortably, you're getting 1,200 to 1,400 feet a minute. Oh, wow, okay. Comfortable climb out. Now, what is the weight of the airplane, Chris? That makes me think it must be a pretty light plane. This airplane sits at 758 pounds. 758. Okay, yeah. We've also put a new 3-bladed Sentinich propeller on here. This one's got the Sentinich on it? Okay. Yeah, the Sentinich 3-blade prop, and we found the performance to have improved. Our climb performance and our cruise performance have both improved. Our cruise performance improved by about 4 miles an hour compared to the previous propeller, and the climb performance has certainly improved. This tends to be a very short takeoff and landing airplane anyway. With a maximum performance now with 1 or 2 people such as you and myself on board, we could expect to get off the ground in around 100 feet plus or minus. Is that right? Okay. And our Vision model here has just a little bit thicker, more of a short takeoff and landing wing than our other model. Okay. Spirit's a little narrower, a little thinner wing. Just a little bit narrower to give you an idea. Both of them have wing fuel tanks. The Vision that we're flying here now has a fuel tank capacity of 28 gallons.
28, okay.
And the Spirit has a capacity of 24 gallons. This could be used in a flight school, or it could be used for personal use. We're finding a lot of interest for personal use at the price point where this airplane is. And we're getting a lot of excitement around that. And people like the simplicity of it. The 2014 model, our panel will be just a little bit wider, and that's going to allow somebody to put a portable GPS or a iPad device and be able to mount that up here on the panel. And in so doing, then they'd be able to have their navigation. This airplane, of course, is very basic, but they'd be able to have GPS navigation and so forth through any sort of device that they want to bring.
You spoke of the stick as being a little heavier. I'm going to do a maneuver I call the Dutch roll.
Okay.
And we're holding 5,000 RPM, and we're seeing about 83 knots right now. Of course, I'm going to turn, so we'll level it out, and we're roughly crosswind now, so to speak. And at 5,000 RPM, we're seeing a little better than 90. That's knots, I'm assuming.
That's actually miles an hour.
Oh, that's miles an hour, okay.
It is miles an hour on this airplane. You can have it either way. We'll take it for you either way. This one happens to be set up for miles an hour.
The beauty of software. So we're seeing a little more, actually, 92, 93 miles an hour now. And we're at a fairly low power setting here. We can scoot along. I'm guessing we could cruise easily at 100 then, could we?
The cruise on this thing would be just around 100 miles an hour on this airplane. Be an instruction airplane. It does have a very significant landing gear and 606 size tires, which makes it a little bit easier for student-type landing. It's also set up with a combination turf and pavement tire, so that if somebody's operating off of a combination or they have a private strip where they want to do it, then this is a great airplane for that, along with the STOL capability.
All right. All right, I'm going to go ahead with the Dutch roll thing.
All right.
Looking around to see, I don't see anybody else out here with us. I don't see any other airports here, so I'll go ahead and start the little gentle Dutch rolls and sort of get a feel for the control of the airplane. Okay, what I'm noticing is the rudders feel very effective. I'm overusing the rudders a little bit. I need to use a little less rudder.
You'll find that the rudder and the control surfaces on this airplane, as they were designed by Max Tedesco, the designer of the airplane, are much larger than some of the other light sport airplanes that are out there.
So that explains some of the high effectiveness that I'm sensing.
3-3. We've got a very large elevator back there. There's a very large rudder. So we've got a little bit more control surface than some of the other airplanes that are out there. And Max did that by design to make sure that you have enough authority. I mean, I'm sure as Dan knows that some of these light sport airplanes, you can lose inertia a little bit compared to some of the airplanes that I've flown. And we have enough elevator authority to kind of counteract that in this airplane.
Yeah, the control motions, the amount of stick movement that I'm making to affect the controls that I'm wanting are very gentle. I don't know if I'd characterize them as heavy. There's definitely ones that are lighter. There's no question about that. And, for those that want that, well, that's great. But for a lot of people, this feel is going to be quite comfortable. And I'm thinking now of a student who might go up in this airplane. Not that that's all it's for, but if you put a student in this airplane, they're going to feel quite comfortable, I think, with the control motion. Because it's not jerky. I'm not getting like an instant response that throws me around. Or
nose up just a little bit.
Yep.
There we go.
Yeah, actually, I need a little back trim then, don't I?
Down to about 2,300 feet there.
Yep. I've been, okay, so I've been flying around a little bit low, nose low, that would be. I think I got it trimmed a little better now.
Yeah, I like to think of, as I said, I like to think of the control forces here as significant or just about, I really think they're just right, but of course, we built there. Still nose low there.
There we go, now I think I got the feel. Doing a relatively steep 360.
I've got Mount Vernon Airport back over there to our right. And again, I can look and see lots of traffic out here.
Okay. Alright, let's try that the other way and see how I do.
Alright.
I think it's the exceptional visibility that's causing me to kind of lower the nose a little bit.
It can throw your perspective off just a little bit the first time that you do it. Because you are seeing things from, I don't know if anybody can see where my hand is, but of course you're seeing a lot more as my hand moves down this way than you might see, especially even in our other airplanes, the Spirit. You know, it's blocked up here with a traditional panel, and so to kind of counteract that, maybe you are.
Yeah, I must be compensating somehow. I'm not even able to explain that, but that kind of happens. But steep turn to the left, gone easier than to the right. I'm holding my altitude a little better. Coming around this way so I can keep my eye on the airport over there to our right. Okay, let's see, we're at 2,100, about 2,150 feet right now, so I'm not seeing any traffic around us, and we can certainly see it if it's out there, because although for a bit of haze today, visibility in the airplane is just spectacular. It's one of the most obvious points about the airplane that I'm sensing, actually. So, let's come on back with the power. Come back to pretty near idle thrust, which will keep the airplane still moving ahead well. And slowly come back on the stick.
I'll put just a little bit of flap in there.
Okay.
We're taking runway 5. It'll be a departure to the south. Right turnout. Mount Vernon.
We'll keep an eye on him, so seeing 50.
He's at 45 miles an hour now.
Yeah, and these are miles an hour that I'm calling off, so I'm seeing 47, 46, that's miles per hour, so that would be below, probably right around 40 knots. The airplane is clearly wallowing around a little bit. I'm close to stick full act, but I think I am.
And you're now at 37 miles an hour.
37, and I'm about as full apt as I can get. The airplane is just,
there we go. Let's recover that.
It's a little bit of a burble is about all you feel from it. Gentle addition of power and just dropping the nose a bit, and we're all the way back up to 60 miles an hour.
All right, and we lost a couple hundred feet there, and it stalled out at about 36 miles.
36 miles an hour, so that's translating at somewhere around 32, 33 knots. That's a really slow stall speed. Power coming back up here to kind of normal again.
Now, put your flaps back coming up.
Flaps coming back up. How much flaps did we have down for that?
We had 20 degrees.
20 degrees, all right. Now, typical landing. Talk to me about some numbers. Talk to me about flap positions.
Well, typical landing, we land this airplane under normal considerations on a hard surface runway with about 20 degrees of flaps. You're going to look for a touchdown of between 45 and 50 miles an hour.
Okay.
You can cross over, and as you enter the downwind, aim for 80 miles an hour. We can hold that 80 miles an hour until we're on base. We can begin to look for 70 miles an hour on final. And about 65 or so over the fence, because we do have a couple of knots of wind down there today.
Okay.
And you'll take it on down there. And it may want to float just a little bit on you, but you can just ease it on down.
Because we were padding the speed just a little bit.
We're padding the speed just a little bit for the wind. And you should touch down at 45 miles an hour.
Okay.
It will touch down a little bit more, but of course then you're still flying. And
sure, we're going to try and slow her down a little more, so. Okay, so we're ready to enter left downwind?
Yeah, that's fine.
Fine, Mount Vernon traffic, 6-4 Sierra November, entering left downwind runway 5. Full stop landing, Mount Vernon.
Mount Vernon traffic, Bonanza Mountain, 2 miles southeast of the airport, 3,450. We'll be maneuvering across midfield in our left downwind.
Okay, so we're at 87 now. I'm going to back off power just a little bit.
I'm on the taxiway.
He can bring it.
I'm going to have to taxi back for just a moment.
He can bring it back there pretty good.
Okay. We'll come back to 4,000 for the beginner.
Yeah, you may want to go that. Just widen out just a little bit. You're getting a little on the narrow side.
Yeah, I'm typically flying pretty tight patterns. So.
Okay. As long as you're comfortable. You might want to wait. The airplane will
we're at 80
certainly
miles an hour where I was instructed to be, so let's see, looking back over my shoulder here a little bit. All right. Head Mount Vernon traffic, 6-4 Sierra November, turning base leg, runway 5, full stop landing, Mount Vernon.
And you can go ahead and put in the first 10 degrees of flaps.
Okay, now how am I judging 10 degrees? I see the indicator.
But about one bit there. That's good.
Okay,
you're 10.
One notch down is 10. Okay, looks like I can back off power easily.
You certainly can.
Coming down to 3,000 now. Probably can come back all the way to idle thrust, looks like. And she's back all the way now. Okay, now need a little more nose up trim. And speed is a little faster than I'm supposed to be, so trim it up a little higher. I'm going to extend my downwind here, my base leg just a little bit. And then we'll try a little bit of slipping action, since clearly I'm going to need it, so.
6-4, Sierra November, turning final, runway 5, Mount Vernon, full stop.
Okay, as we come around here, I'm going to shift into slipping mode. And I'm going to do a slip to the left.
We're on Unicom 123.
Move a little altitude because I've had a bit too much. Power is all the way back.
Okay, thanks.
Looks pretty nicely. That's pulling us down pretty
You want to
nice.
put in your last notch of flaps there. Just hold us down again momentarily. There you go.
Okay, and I'm down to full flaps. All I need
down to
anyway?
about 20 degrees.
Well, right. As much as I needed is what I meant to say.
And you're at 65, so you're just about at our goal.
Okay, a little bit slower I need to be. Coming in now. Holding her off, holding her off.
Hold it off. There you go. Let her roll down onto the nose.
There we go.
And you're down.
Okay, and you got the brake, so I'll give you back the airplane.
I have the airplane.
You've got the plane. Alrighty, we survived another one.
We survived another one.
Nothing like good instruction, so.